bro. I feel you, man. So this is the dialogue. This is the language of 2020. Well, before pre-2020, but moving forward, that teachers, the guides, the facilitators, call yourself what you want. That we speak our truth, man, and shame the devil at the end of the day. And the devil comes in all guises. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they look like you, sometimes they don't look like you, and that's the reality of it, man.
Let me ask you, when it comes to we focus heavily, and I know that's where a lot of people are. They're there on the color of your skin, where you're from, and such. What level do we continue to ascend to where that continues to matter?
The reality is it's never mattered. So, that's how I really feel. It's never mattered. And, some people have given us the appearance that it matters. So, you go back home and it's not an issue, or when it did become an issue, there's people involved that made it an issue, So we had this conversation the other day, not me and you, but, with others, as far as, why is it that only black and white people refer to themselves as a color when it comes to race and identification, where others are more there's what is all that about? So when it comes to this, when I say I'm black, but actually I'm brown skinned, I know there's black skinned people really dark, but at the end of the day, like, where does that come from? Why are we not the brown people? Why are the Chinese people not yellow, or white people pink people? The true colors they are, if we're doing it by color, like, where does this model come from? Because it's not a real model. You know what I'm saying? So however you take ownership of it, whatever I love the James Brown song, Say It Loud, I'm Black, I'm Proud. It's a funky ass song, you know what I'm saying? And I dig the song. And I know what the song was about and what it was trying to inspire. But when we dig deep, we take that, and like you said, where are we taking it though? How far have we taken it? Where are we taking it? And how is it serving us?
Now, in saying that, I am for power to the people, you know what I mean? I am for power to black people. I love the James Brown. I love all those type of things that allow us to instill that self-love. And yeah, I'm not ignorant to everything that's happened. You know what I mean? I know all of those things have been stripped away from Nubian people all across the world, really and truly. So we're at a place where we're trying to understand who we are. We're trying to get our self-love, and a lot of these like Pan-Africanists and pro-black this and such, they're coming out of a place where they're trying to reconnect with who they are, with their self-love, and it's coming from for the untrained eye or untrained mind, it looks like it's coming from a very chaotic place and this and such and such. But I understand these people. We're trying to find who we are and we're trying to connect to self-love. But it's like, my thing is, how long are we going to stay there? Like, it's forever staying there. Me personally, I'm not on there anymore. I'm not on that anymore. I'm on to the next one. You know what I mean? But it feels like those people feel they like staying there. You know what I mean? You have people that like to get amped up, that they like to go to church. They like to go to church and hear and get the sermon for the day, and like, hey, yeah, what we need to do? We need to all get together and da 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 da. And want to say white, black, and da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, brother, yeah, sister, yeah, all right. And then we go off into our own world, and then we doing regular shit. We're paying bills and such. And they're like, hey, you know what? It's been a while. I need to go back and hear another sermon. Oh yeah, let's go to sermon. Like, you're just going. It's like going to a concert. Going to a concert, you feel good, you get a certain energy around, and then like, back to my regular world. So a lot of these rallies and stuff that I've gone to loads out of 10, 11, 12 years, that I'm like, just don't involve me. Like, no, I don't want to come around and beat 1-2 drums and then talk about the problems that's in the community, and then we leave and then we don't do shit about it. Like really, who am I waiting on? Let me just do whatever I feel necessary to, or do what I feel the need to. You know what I mean? Me. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting there waiting for a collective of people to do such and such. Like, no. I'm not focused on, hey, my mission is to change the world and to grow. Like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. That's too big of an issue for me to try to tackle. And I realized over the years that's been a major stress on me, you know what I mean? feeling like I need to tackle this, I need to walk with this and such. You know what? Hey, right now I'm focused on living. You know what I mean? I'm just living. I'm getting to a point where I want to be that tree, you know? Same way that the tree doesn't have to do actually, the tree just is a tree. A bird is just a bird. You know, I just want to be me. I just want to exist. I look at my life like just working from like the age of 12, 13 years old, all the way to now, like damn, like working the last 25 years, just working, and this living. This is not living. This is not living. Having to say that you're gonna get up, and I'm gonna be a model. I'll be a model. I need to contribute to society, to the working class, working class. Like, what are you really building? The society that we're in is built up of, you know, murder, you know what I'm saying, you know, slaughter, you know, a whole bunch of darkness. Like, I don't want to be a part of this society. I could give a shit about this society if I'm completely honest. You know what I mean? You know, I'm looking after self now. Like, I'm like, there's so much people that are so locked in to the model that is created that they can never see past it. There's so many people that at the same time that they're right here going through the whole corona thing, that they're like, they have so much time for themselves. It's too much time for themselves. They want to return. They want to return to that model. Like, no, I gotta get back to work. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Well, my work gave me purpose. If your work gave you purpose, if your work you really feel that your work gave you purpose, you know what I mean? You need to reevaluate your life. You know, who are you? Who are you without your work? Who are you without your house? Who are you without your car? Who are you without all these little trinkets that you attach yourself to? Who are you? Do you know what I'm saying? And aside from that, it's like, we never go into that because we're so many things to so many people. No, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. You come into this world and you get so caught up in your responsibilities to that particular role that you have become that you never delve into self. Never. Like, oh well, you know, I'm a father now, you know what I mean? So yeah, all my goals and all the things I wanted to do, yeah, I can't do them anymore. I gotta put this to the side because, you know, I have children. Like, what? Like, how does that make sense? Like, it's all about them. No, it's not all about them. Like, what is that gonna do later on? What type of resentment is that gonna cause you later on? You're gonna start treating your children like shit. You know what I mean? 10 years down the line, 12 years down the line, you're gonna be like looking at it like, damn, yeah, I could have been doing this in music, but I'm over here with you, this and this. And this is the type of shit that I have to face from my pops. You know what I mean? Every time when he got drunk, he used to go off on me. I used to get my ass kicked and I used to go through all this shit like, it's because of you that I'm here. Because of you that I'm here. That I'm in this land. That I'm in America. That I'm in here. I should be in Nigeria. I should be in Nigeria. I had maids over there. We had this over there. Like, that's what this is the I love you talks that I had growing up. 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. These, that I'm the reason that he's in this hell. The nigga then leave, go. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's deep. It's deep. Like, no, you're someone before you have all these connections. You know, for those parents and such, you're someone before you had children. Not just because you have children. Oh, now I have purpose. No. Nah, fucker, you were someone before you have children. Don't use your children to say that now you have purpose. You know what I mean? And don't try to live your life through your children. Your children, there's someone completely different from you. Yes, they came from you, but don't think about like, you know, all the things that I didn't get to do and all the things that I wanted to do, I'm going to make my children do it. And now you're trying to live, now you're controlling your child's life like that. Like, no, this person is completely different. You're a guide. You're a guide. You know what I mean? Still be who you are. You know, stop separating these things. You know what I mean? I let my children see exactly who I am. You know what I mean? I'm not one person here, one person there, one person, you know, and yo, I'm the same damn person. And this is when people come across somebody that is just them, then people don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? When people are like, oh, well, I thought you were this yoga. Yeah. Oh, but I didn't know you do this and that. Yeah, yeah, you know that you could be into more than one thing, right? You know that you could have more than one passion, right? But But you think that, oh, just because you need to be one thing, you need to be one thing because that's the model. You need to be one thing, and that's it. That's your profession. Okay, you're Darren. You're a teacher. Okay, that's what you are. You're a teacher. You know what I mean? That's who you are. That's exactly what you are. I know how to relate to you. Like, I don't want to see you playing basketball. I don't want to see you talking about shrooms. I don't want to see you burning blood. You're a teacher. You're a teacher. That's what you are. That's how I see you. You know what I mean? And we stay locked into these boxes because this is how people people's perception of us, we end up internalizing and becoming those perceptions. You know what I mean? Those limiting perception of them. You know, you see me doing yoga, you see me doing this, that's a glimpse of my life. It's a glimpse of my life. That's not who I am. You know what I mean? I am not a yoga teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like that's heavy to put me like, oh yeah, I am a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? Those are some passions that you have seen. Give thanks. You know what I mean? And if you connect with it on that, lovely. If that's the only connection that we have, then lovely. That's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? But don't try to put your perceptions of me and try to pigeonhole me and say like, no, this is what you are. No, you don't tell me what I am. I am that I am. No.
Oh shit. That's a nice segue, bro, for me to bring in, you know, a topic, a subject matter that's close to the heart, close to my psyche and my well-being. And you know, on every conversation that I've had, I've brought it up because I have to bring it up. And what's ironic is the fact that as a yoga teacher that you are not only, you know, I see you posting stuff in it, like because that's, you know, from the outside, you know, I've got to hang out with you, man. We got to roll. I get teachings from you and all the rest of it. But I guess for the most part, most people's way into people's lives now is through social media. You know, that's how they see you. So they see you as your posts. What you post is who you are and what you are. And some people, they just post selfies. You know, they're just posting selfies all day long. You know, and then other people post other shit. So I'm saying that to say that I've seen you post some other shit. And that's what got me intrigued in you prior to me actually physically meeting you, getting to some of your posts as a yoga teacher. You know, I'm like, this is unorthodox. This is up my street. This is the kind of thing I was saying that I wasn't attracted to 18, 19 years ago. So what I have seen you posting recently, bro, as a yoga poster, I've seen you posting like magic mushrooms and, you know, psychedelics and stuff. And that seems like,
yeah, I just wanted to change my background real quick as we're moving on. Just change my background.
Got you.
Yeah, one. I mean, are they in a shot? Good. I'm covering that. Okay. Boom.
We can see them. Yeah, so before we even go there, bro.
Initiators together. Initiators. Both initiators.
Before we even go into what's in the, you know, what's in the bucket there, man. Like I said, I see you making posts, you know, and you know the rest of it. And you're basically the only second person who deals with yoga, that teaches and shares, you know, and guides people in yoga that I'm seeing connecting, talking about sharing psychedelics and yoga. I'm a psychedelic head, you know, as you know, talk and share that type of information. I'm aware of your connections from back before you got to the UK and delving into this realm. So I just want to open up that conversation, and I want to go back there just as far as your first, you know, the notion of psychedelics. So coming from where I'm coming from, psychedelics were pretty much taboo. Growing up, drugs were readily available, but culturally there were certain drugs that I had access to, that my community were comfortable with, and there was other drugs and things circulate. You know, everybody had their vices. So just, can you paint a picture? Let's go back there and just paint a picture of your journey to psychedelics, and then, you know, where we're at with all of that in relationship to your practices.
Yeah. So really, I was raised in Miami. I raised in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Miami. Every time people talk about Miami, they think about, South Beach, boom, 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 all that shit. You know, I get it. But yeah, from a young age, we were into different things. You know what I mean? And the drugs of choice at that time was that was around was, you know, you had herb, you had your alcohol, but then we had psychedelics. We had the stamps, we had the gel tabs. You know what I mean? We had ecstasy. You know what I mean? That was heavy. That was heavy when I was growing up. You know, and I'm in Miami. And then, you know, so techno music, rave music, you know what I'm saying, such and such, you know, lights, you know, all this type of stuff. This is my world, you know, where people's introduction could be like, oh, well, I was sneaking out to go to the clubs, you know what I mean? Like, we were throwing raves, like, you know what I mean? I want to talk about raves. I mean, not like they say raves now, you know what I mean, here. Like, raves over there was like, yo, it was techno music, it was drum and bass, it was like, you was going in, you're on psychedelics, you was you know, the lights, everything. That's the zone we're in, really and truly. So this is what we've been doing, growing up. So my first introduction to it was, I remember being in 8th grade. 8th grade, it could have been 13, or so in 8th grade, and me and about maybe about 7 or 8 other people, we said, hey, you know, we was always rebellious. Like, we're like, school was a joke. School was a place to go to see your friends and fuck around. That's what school was, you know what I mean? So me and like 7 or 8 people, you know, we all decided, hey, you know what? Let's get some stamps, some acid stamps, you know, get some stamps and let's drop them. Let's drop them in the start of our first period of class and just see what happens. Yo, so that's 13.
That's your introduction, yeah?
13. That's 13. So that's like 20, it was like 24, 25 years ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was into it from then. So maybe I haven't even finished going through puberty when I started having psychedelics already in my system. You know what I mean? But it was, yo, that I still remember it like yesterday. It was mind blowing. It was a whole other world, you know, within this world. And I'm like, I remember being in my English class, like the same little poster that I would just see all the time in class, you know, the cat reading a book, I can read, you know, that cat just walking out of the book, walking out of the poster, coming to me and like just sitting down with me, like things like this that would happen, real stuff, not like, oh yeah, I think this is happening. No, real stuff. Like, not like, oh, little flashes, like, no, it was real. Like, I thought I was talking to the cat. Maybe I was. I still don't know. But that's how real it was. And the different experiences. But psychedelics was stamps, love stamps. Just a mind blowing space that it would take you to. And from an early age, like I would host it in my place, you know, well, my mother's house. My mother could speak on it, you know what I mean? She would come back home, and we're there, tons of people in the house, you know, we burning herb, you know, on the patio and stuff like that. But we got the music going, we got lights, neon lights and black lights going on, and my mom coming in like, all right, y'all, everybody safe? Y'all good? Like, all right. My mom just go about her business. Mama like, as long as they're not hurting anybody, you know what I mean? And we're in her house. Where like she knows where I am. She doesn't have to worry. So my mom just go in her room and just do her thing. So I had free range, really and truly. So me just exploring that, like, I like to explore. Okay, oh, this is good. This is good. Next thing you know, we're taking other things. We're mixing the stamps while taking ecstasy. Like, this is our stuff as a youth, you know, and what we call trolling or candy flipping, entering different spaces. So it was all, you know, it wasn't just in the beat, it wasn't just in raves and stuff like that, but in Miami we have nature, you know, and we have beach, we have the beaches, we have the palm trees, we have like there. So a lot of times we're just rent a hotel, you know, ocean view, and kick it on the beach and go through these experiences, you know what I mean? And so psychedelics, nature, all this type of thing, all this type of stuff. I was still into spirituality. I was probably just coming out of being altar boy. All these things are still in my heavens. After I stopped being an altar boy, I went off into like let me see, I was in the Bible group in high school and all these type of things, while still into psychedelics and taking psychedelics and still doing other shit. It was always all worlds. So it was always like that lower and higher, like it was just always both worlds, just constant. So years down the line, when I'm giving a name like Sematawi, it's like it's just right in line, because I've always been on a higher meds, but still connected to earth and still here with whatever's going on. I've always been in both worlds.
As above, so below.
As above, so below. You know what I mean? So now I think I got to a point where I was like, you take a lot of ecstasy, like, and acid and stuff, and for what they say, like, that acid never really leaves you, you know. So a lot of times I'll be firing up, even not on it, and I would have certain flashes. And when they say that it never leaves you, it stays in your spine, you know, I started looking at that thing as different. I feel that starting taking these psychedelics from a young age, it has just like it has opened me up to a whole other place. It's like created another portal within my heavens that allows me to see things differently and such. And yeah, I feel that it was an opening. I wouldn't go back and say, oh yeah, I wish I didn't do all those drugs. Like, nah, that's opened me up. I listen to things differently. I see things differently. You know what I mean? I still listen to techno, drum and bass, and reggae. I still listen to all that. Don't be twisted thinking that, oh yeah, you see me and it's just roots and culture. And like, nah. You'll be amazed by the music that I listen to, and I listen to it on different levels. I could be listening to a techno track or a rave track, and I could just be zoned in just to one particular sound that a certain instrument is making, and I'm just into it just for that, nothing else. While you're listening to everything else, I'm just zoomed into that. So even just how I perceive and how I'm able to just pick apart particular things, I see a whole, and I'm like, no, I could zoom in on this. That I see that I see those particular abilities transferring into my skill set, whether it's my yoga practice or it's my attention to detail in other areas. I see those type of things that like probably happened a lot when I was on psychedelics. You know, looking at something and then, for instance, looking at a plant. I would like to look at the palm trees, and the palm trees, I would be able to just look into the palm trees. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm not looking at them from the outside. Now I'm looking at the atoms moving around and such, and it puts a whole other layer to it. I feel like doing it from a young age, you know what I mean, it has just grown with me and developed as part of me. So it's something that has never stopped, really and truly, me exploring psychedelics. But we have come to a place where we could talk about it more openly, or like, oh yeah, people are into it now. But before it's like, hey, don't talk about these things. Don't share these things. No. Don't. Shh. Much like sex, you know, everybody's having it, but don't talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's a whole other talk. You know, but yeah, probably when I got to like age 25, something like that, I started getting deeper into certain initiations. I was like, you know what? I'm like, nah, I gotta leave these synthetic things alone. You know what I mean? You know, I was like, nah. And I just stayed with my herbs and stuff like that. Stayed with my herbs until I came over to this country. Came over to the country and I started taking trips to Amsterdam. You know what I mean? I remember the first trip I took to Amsterdam because I turned on the TV and there was riots happening and shit set on fire in London. And I was like, oh, yo, I know that place is close to me. That's the gym. So while the London riots was happening, whenever that was, you know what I mean, I was in Amsterdam on like truffles and stuff like that. So I was like, yo, I'm glad I'm not there. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that because I stopped doing the synthetic things, and then when I got to Amsterdam, I was like, damn, I want to start doing more of this natural stuff, you know, natural psychedelics, such and such. And yeah, I started going into more truffles and mushrooms and such. These things weren't around they weren't around in Miami. It was just synthetics. It was just stems, gels, it was just the synthetic things. So yeah, being able to do them, be able to go back into these places, because even though I came to like, oh yeah, I do this yoga and I'm into this level of spirituality, such and such, you know, I still miss that. I still miss the connection that I had with like that. I was like, damn, something's missing. Like I just felt like I've given up. I've given up so many things that I've like that I felt connected to walk a particular path or to be considered amongst us a particular group of people and such. You know, it was like my psychedelics. I gave him my psychedelics. I was like my, you know, celebrating birthdays. At one time for a while I wasn't celebrating birthdays. That was another thing. That's only recently I started. You know, not celebrating like, you know, the white man's holidays and such and such. And, you know, no, I'm not celebrating Christmas. No, I'm not celebrating this. And then looking at it like now, being older, being a father, me sitting down like on Christmas Day, like being upset with myself because my children ain't around me, you know what I mean, on these holidays and such, even though there was a time we were introducing more of the solstice to the children, and we still do particular solstice rituals and stuff like that. But, you know, Christmas is such a big thing, you know? And I'm like, damn, why are my children here? Oh, yeah, that's right, my children ain't here because I don't celebrate that. Where are they? They're off with their mother, you know, at their grandma's house with a whole bunch of relatives and such, and celebrating this. But I was so focused on the Christmas, that I didn't tap into the celebration, you know, the togetherness, being around family, and just, you know, who gives a shit if it's oh, the white man created this or such, whatever the case. But it's a moment that you could create, that you could feel good to be around others, you know, to give and such. Yeah, I understand the underlining thing of it is from here, but still, I took myself away from that, you know, and I started beating myself up. I was like, damn, do I really feel good because I don't celebrate it, but my children are elsewhere, and I'm just self-isolated basically before self-isolation was a thing here, because I know all these things. And it's like the more knowledge that you know, it's like you kind of cripple yourself more. You know, you think it's, oh, I'm more woke, but you know, that's a whole other box within itself. And it's like, I felt bad. I said, yo, let me be real. Before I started to know this and this and this and this and this, yeah, I loved this time. You know what I mean? You know, I was never the type that was big on gifts and such, but it was a time that I would be more with family, that, you know, that the pressure on and strictness wasn't there as much. And I lived in a very strict militant household. So, you know what I mean? So these were times that you know, that were better. These were better times for my family. You know what I mean? My mother and father weren't at war as much during these times. So it was all these other things created around this time. You know, and let's not be twisted. Like, there's still a lot of important things that happen in these times. There's still solstice times. You know what I mean? So it's disguised and masked, right? But these revelations happened when I went to India. When I went to India about 2.5-3 years ago, I was going through a breakdown. I need to get away. I just needed time for self. You know, the pressure of just being everything to everyone. You know what I'm saying? It was just breaking me. And when I went to India, I was just like, at first I was mad. I was like, fuck are these Indian people? They're always celebrating shit, man. Always celebrating shit. Like, every day it's a different festival. It's different. Lakshmi, today, the festival of Lakshmi, and they're celebrating. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Oh, we're celebrating Shiva, and they're always celebrating shit. And I was like, who the fuck is always celebrating, man? And after a few days, I caught myself. I was like, yo, why are you upset that they're celebrating? And I was like, I would be sitting by the Ganges River, just like thinking, like, why am I so upset? They're like, oh, because I don't celebrate a damn thing. Everything that I celebrate, I said, no, it's a white man stuff. Can't celebrate this. You know, and I've created this thing where there's no celebration. I'm like, what am I seeing when people are celebrating this? it's a feel-good energy.
Yeah.
They're feeling good. They're laughing. They're dancing. They're like, yeah, they're smiling. I stripped all that away from myself, and now I just have this seriousness. No, the books. Yes, brother. No, this is, and I've become this character that is not me. You know what I mean? When I started like looking at myself on video and such stuff, I was like, who is that? I was like, this guy's boring. This guy's not into anything. Like this guy doesn't. Yeah, he's just his craft. The craft is him. Like no, like I was someone before the craft. Like you know what I mean? And I really just like, nah, this is not me. What have I created? What have I created? Like these different schools of thought, schools upon schools upon schools upon schools upon schools. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, nah, I'm not living. I'm not living. I remember just thinking about a whole bunch of people that I've upset along the way, the relationships that I've torn up along the way, the people are headstrong in my particular way, and my way is this. No, you have to eat this way, and no, you have to live this way, and no, the way that you live is wrong. And I was like, who the hell am I? Who the hell am I? Like, why am I here telling people about how they should eat or how they should feel? Like, I have no goddamn idea. What makes me think that I have the right to talk to people like this? Like, who am I? You know what I mean? Like, whoa, just live. Just do what you do. Like, bro, this is what I do. It makes me feel good. Maybe you could try it. If you feel good about it, cool, then carry on. But I still understand that there's a whole bunch of other things that you can do that make you feel good. And I might not be in agreement of it, but it makes you feel good. So let me leave you alone. You know what I mean? Let me stop trying to bring people into my religion or whatever it is, because I was close to creating some religion. You know what I mean? And yeah, the celebrations, you know what I mean? The celebrations was lacking. So I was like, nah, this is not what it's about. Like, it's not what it's about. And I was just looking at the path and the different schools of thought and such. And I was like, nah. I was like, yeah, we're just operating from the lowest vibration all the time. We're in that survival mode. We're so angry. We have no reason to celebrate. This is not our stuff. This is not our place. So we're just operating here all the time, and it's just too much anger, so much anger. I had to stop listening. To one of my teachers, one of my main teachers growing up when dealing with holistic health, because he was just too fucking angry. And that's Lila Africa. Bless him that he passed, transition. But you know what I mean? I got to a place that I was like, nah, I can't listen to him anymore. He's just too angry. And he taught me himself, like, yo, like anger affects you, you know what I mean? It affects your liver and your kidneys heavy. So I was like, damn. I was like, why is he still so angry? He's teaching this stuff for 34 years. Why is he still so angry? And I was like, nah, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. That's eating away. And I don't want to be that to my children as well. I don't want my children to go, yeah. Yo, Popsy's wild. He's just fucking always angry talking about this and the way the world should be and such and such. I'm like, to hell with all that. Let me full joy myself. If I have to be removed from this existence, this realm today, I don't want anger and me bickering on other people to be the memory that my young children have on me. Like, nah, we're gonna live. We're gonna live each day. We're gonna celebrate. Every moment to celebrate. Let's live. Let's jam. Let's go through. Not me get caught up because of all the stuff that I study. I just feeling myself like higher, holier than thou. My shit don't stink. And like, so nah, I'm not here for that. That's not my path. And I'm not here to go around teaching everyone and initiating everyone. Like, cool, you want to get initiated? Cool, come through. But this is not my purpose. I no longer think about myself like, what is my purpose here? What is my reason for being here? I'm just here. It's all right just to be. You don't always have to have yourself tied into a goal, tied into a desire, tied into something like, what's next? What's next? Okay, you all together? Okay, you like her? What's next? What do you do now? You need to get married, right? You need to move in, right? Oh, you need to have children with her, right? Oh, you need to do this. Oh, now you need to have a divorce, right? Now you need to separate this, right? Like, we don't need that. We could just live. If me and someone is jamming and we jamming, it's cool. Let's just live. Let's full joy each other. When we're not full joying each other anymore, carry on. Go. Just keep traveling. You know what I mean? Keep moving.
We're gonna get there. That's a lifestyle choice of liberation that not many of us, reach, although we may aspire to, based on the models, again, the framework, the programming that we're given us, your expectations, what you're expected to do. And yeah, we've been open that discussion as well in other conversations.